All right, welcome to the Red Chair Theater, where Ryan Rowland-Smith and I, Matt Vasgersian, are going to walk you through the Red Chair special tonight. And it was in Boston. Rays and Red Sox, a Rays team that, despite losing yesterday, is still 15-5 over its last 20, and a Red Sox team leaning on this man tonight. And yes, he was much better than he'd been in the previous three. Brandon Lau got it started with a base knock. Buehler would escape trouble in the first, though. Oh, Junior Caminero cooled off, didn't he? He was 1 for his last 17 entering play. All right, no problem for Walker Buehler in the first inning. To the bottom of the inning now. Jarren Duran leading off. Great first pitch numbers. So what happens tonight? First pitch homer, of course.
Love it. He's starting to show that power all of a sudden. He's got that leg kick back. Kind of lost that at the beginning of the year, and then he went back to it. Something went back and forth 2024.
8th career leadoff homer. Takes Zach Littell Bridge. Where's that weird monster hat? Walker Buehler in trouble again in the second. Back-to-back singles and a walk would load the bases with nobody out. But he would get Taylor Walls. Wait for it. It's coming. He would get Taylor Walls to fly to left. 1 out.
That is a huge out right there. And yeah, for Walker Buehler, especially coming off what he did last time out, just the 2 innings.
Saw the Rays tied at 1 on a fielder's choice ground ball. Brandon Lau now ground ball to the right side. And the damage is limited at just 1 run. So let's talk a little bit about Walker Buehler and velo. Not everybody is velo reliant as to whether they have a good start or not, but it seems to really matter for Buehler.
It really does. And even going back to last year when he was with the Dodgers, coming back from the IL, the one thing he was so in his head about was the fact that he just didn't have that good riding fastball at the top of the strike zone. So he started to try and mix, some of the usage and everything else. And you're hearing the very similar thing right now here with the Red Sox. And he even said, too, he said, I feel like I don't have that conviction. Like he feels like he's a little bit lost trying to figure this out, throwing 7 different pitches. But I will say this, watching what we saw early on in this year, coming into this start, one thing that I did like tonight was the fact he got back to that, more of that fastball usage. It just makes all the other secondary pitches, if you want to throw them, that's great. It just makes those pitches that much tougher because when you get spinning, and the other thing, too, is with Walker Buehler, he's never below the strike zone. Everything's fastball up here, and he tries to tunnel that pitch off the top of that strike zone. But if you're going to throw that many breaking balls, man, you have to get below the strike zone. And if you look at heat maps, he's just not down there at all. So I like the fact he got up to that 40% plus on that fastball.
Right.
Tonight.
We saw some numbers about how he had struggled in his previous 3. Well, yesterday, Lucas Giolito turned it around after really laboring, had a really good start against the Rays. Buehler trying to do that on Wednesday night. Let's get back to the highlights. So we left off, and it was 1 apiece. We'll pick it up in the bottom of the second for Marcelo Mayer leading things off. And there was a lot of count jumping against Zach Littell early.
Man, look at that. Strong kid. I feel like Marcelo Mayer's kind of gotten pushed to the side now that we've got Roman Anthony.
That's right. I mean, the whole kiddie core is there with Christian Campbell.
Right.
Top of the 4th, Buehler starting to settle in. Gets Matt Theis, 3rd strikeout of the game. And then Cameron Meisner with a swing and a miss, back-to-back punch-outs in the 4th. Bottom of the 4th now. And Marcelo Mayer, bases empty. Oh, get ready for this.
Again.
Get ready for this, Boston. You got a new matinee hero. SoCal kid, just cool, chill dude. Nothing seems to get to him.
Yeah, and yes, I think about this a lot too. When all the attention gets on someone else who's just come up, you see Roman Anthony, takes the spotlight off you a little
Which
bit.
Which one of these guys are you loving on most? Who do you think's got the chance to be the buy and hold? I mean, they're all great, right?
Yeah, I'm not getting taken up by the hype of Roman Anthony, but just when you watch some of the highlights more recently, him coming up in AAA, complete package, the plate discipline that goes with it. But I do like the fact that the 3 of these kids, I'll call them kids, 3 of these kids are here now all together.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this the other day, watching the Dodgers and the Padres, and you saw Xander Bogaerts and Mookie Betts, who both came up around 2013, 2014, and that was at that tail end of the Pedroia, David Ortiz, that good leadership, guys you really want to lean into in regards to watching the example they lead. And I was thinking about that, and then they went on to win the World Series in 2018. They had a couple playoff years. But I'm looking at these three. Okay, who's going to take these three kids under their wing? If we saw Roman Anthony the other night misplay that ball in right field, that happens, or a big spot, or the expectations start to change a little bit. What kind of leadership is going to be there? Bregman, I know he's on the IL. He's going to have to fill that void. He might be gone after a year.
He's the guy. I think about this. With these three dudes, it was about a decade ago that the Red Sox were so excited about the homegrown group of outfielders, about Betts, Jackie Bradley Jr., Andrew Benintendi.
Yes.
And everybody said, this is the next Rice, Lynn, Evans outfield, right? That was a lot to put on those kids,
really
right?
Was.
I mean, all great players. They're in the midst of great careers or having had great careers. There's a lot on Red Sox rookies, in other words. And that's why the Christian Campbell thing, he's got a funky swing. And when it doesn't work, it looks even funkier.
Right. And I think, too, with Christian Campbell, he makes the team out of spring, and then all of a sudden they start mixing up positions. They even have him working out at first base. So there's a lot of that pressure, too, in regards to where they're going to slot him in. But just even going back to, you mentioned some of, with the Benintendis, Endeavors came up right there, that 2018. You go from that era where it's kind of like passing the torch to all of a sudden 2020. They trade away Mookie Betts. They're kind of going Tampa Bay style a little bit in regards to the way they're operating this. So it's going to be interesting with these three young players. Who are they going to lean on to see how they do things in Boston?
It's going to be fun for all of us to watch, but we digress. We got a little sidetracked. That's what we do on this. So let's get back to the game. Bottom of the fourth, or top of the fifth, rather. Walls at first after a leadoff single. Carlos Narvaez gets him trying to run.
Man, that's a big play, too. We know about Tampa Bay leading the league in stolen bases. And Walker Buehler, look, he is slow to the plate. We know that. A big leg kick. That was a big out.
And then Brandon Lau with a swinging bunt. Turns into a two-out single. Brings up Yandy, who loves to swing the bat at Fenway. Big numbers there over the years. 10th of the year.
And that's that fastball we're talking about when we're talking about Walker Buehler. That's 94. That's usually 96 with that extra little.
By the way, that's a robbable homer.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Kid with more experience at Fenway's right field is going to make that play. Bottom of the fifth, Abraham Toro, switch hitter in from the left side, solo shot.
Hey, happy for him too, man. He got let go by the Mariners a couple years ago. Great dude.
He's bounced around a little.
Bounced around. And
Oakland, Houston.
Yeah, and he's swinging it.
The numbers,
Boston.
man. He has been a godsend for them. Fifth of the year, 4-3 Red Sox, top of the seventh. Buehler trying to get through the seventh against Josh Lowe. Oh, did he? Oh, no. Did we tie it up? That's a foul ball. But you got to wait it out. The pesky pole is an optical illusion. Later in the at-bat, ground ball, you're out. Buehler went 7 innings, allows 3 runs. Really good start.
Yeah, the fact that you're looking up and you're pitching in the 7th inning, you're sub 100 pitches, you got to feel good with that.
Top of the 8th, Jose Caballero, the runner at second with 1 gone. And look at Narvaez moving people out of the way. Look, that dude has always been a plus defender. The Red Sox knew what they were getting in him defensively. He's hit this year, too, which has been a real pleasant surprise for them.
Yeah, I guess to go back. Caballero's kind of scratching his head because he got a good jump, too, man. That was a good throw.
So then we get a visit on the mound. And, Greg Weissert with Jake Mangum, rather. A chopper. Weissert tried to get it, but it goes off his glove. Everybody's safe. Red Sox defense has been bad for 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
Matt Theis now, bases loaded, 2 gone. And Weissert strikes him out, picks up his defense. To the top of the 9th. Aroldis Chapman, who is, likely to be dealt at the deadline. We can say it. On for the save. Christopher Morel grounds out. And then Taylor Walls strikes out. Josh Lowe's the final hope. And that'll do her. Red Sox lock it down. They take 2 in a row over the Rays. 2 starters with great bounce-back starts. Marcelo Mayer on the win.
Yeah, I was just looking for a good pitch, made sure I was on time, and, I got a pitch when in a spot that I could do damage in, and I swung. I think that just the coaching staff does a really good job of informing you and getting you ready for the game, giving you really whatever you need. So, it kind of feels like I've seen these guys in the past just by you know, all the work that we do before a game. But yeah, it helps a lot. Credit to JD for giving us that boost of energy, first pitch of the game. It kind of helps you settle in, and then Walker Buehler did his thing.
Walker Buehler did his thing after a series of rough ones. Lucas Giolito last night did his thing after a series of rough ones. What do they have in common? Bouncing back. They're leaning on the fastball a little bit more.
Right, and that's what I was talking about. And look, first of all, Lucas Giolito, we talk about that conviction all the time, attacking with that fastball, and then Walker Buehler, man, that fastball usage started going up by that second, third, fourth. And by the way, a couple little breaks here and there. When you're trying to find it, you saw that foul ball late in that game. You know, Narvaez able to throw that runner out. Those little breaks, man, they can make all the difference.
Let's talk about something else the Red Sox do well. They're not a good defensive team, but they do run. Stolen bases presented by Strauss. This is all Alex Cora, man. He likes to run his guys, and he's got some dudes that can do it too. The series features two of the three top base stealing teams in the American League this year, the Rays and the Red Sox.